Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So greetings from Florence. I am here getting my daughter ready to head off to college. But while I'm here, I thought I would take advantage of some of the food tours in Florence. Come on, let's go check it out. We made our way through the city in order to get to the meeting spot, which would be right under this obelisk. I was looking for the tour guide and I wasn't really sure how many people were going to be joining us. This is really great because our group is small. We only have 2 other people, another couple, and our tour guide. One of the ways you can assure a smaller group when you book your tour is to see if they have a max amount of 12 people or less. The first stop was a charming little wine shop in the center of the city. It was here that we were going to taste some Italian meats and local wine. Wow. This looks great. They had set out 2 types of Italian salami, and one of the things that was interesting to learn is that apparently back in the day peppercorns were really expensive. So in Tuscany they started using fennel seed instead. Today you can find this salami all over the place in Italy, but it did originate in Tuscany and it is quite delicious. Then we also sampled some of the local wine, a Chianti Classico, which was really the perfect complement with our charcuterie plates.
You can warm up the wine, so the red wine, because
it's really
usually
good.
Served about 64 Fahrenheit.
And then we tasted a delicious sun-dried tomato crostini, which was a fantastic finish. Well, that was totally delicious. Now we are headed to our second stop. What's fun about the tour is you don't actually know where you're going next, so everything's a surprise. Our tour guide took us to this sweet little restaurant and then explained the different certificates that were hanging on the wall. Apparently, you can find these in and around Florence, and what it means is that this restaurant is serving traditional Tuscan fare associated with Florence. So we knew we were in for something authentic, and it was fun to look into the kitchen and see this huge pot of ragu simmering away. So I think we were about to have some pasta. What was fun about it is they gave us a full plate. I thought it was just going to be a little taste here and there, but oh no, we had a choice between 2 different dishes. My daughter got the ravioli with ragu, and I got this delicious peachy pasta, which is traditional to the area, with kale and bacon. We were so stuffed by the time we were done, but the tour guide said we had to then take the bread and mop up all the sauce. That's the traditional thing to do. On the way out, we peeked into the kitchen and saw a huge steak grilling. These are the famous bistecca fiorentina steaks, which are definitely worth trying. And the steaks need to be 4 digits thick. I'm so full, I can't imagine what's next. The entire tour is on foot, which is really great. All you have to do is follow the leader. And it also gives you an opportunity to get to know the different areas and neighborhoods of Florence. Our tour guide is really great. You really get the sense that you're touring the city with a trusted friend who's telling you all little tidbits and history about the city, as well as where to eat. He pointed out how many of the street signs in Florence have been altered by a street artist. This one shows a do not enter sign with a spilt glass of wine. What's he trying to say? Maybe don't spill your wine? There was another one with a giraffe, which is a symbol in Florence because it was given by the Sultan of Egypt to Lorenzo the Magnificent in 1487. It caused a big stir in the city because it was the first time a giraffe had been seen in Italy since the Roman times. And they continue to pop up today, like this one made out of paper in the Giorgio Armani shop. He showed us some fountains with drinkable water, like this one. None of us were really running to go fill up our water bottles from it, but it was beautiful to see. I don't know, would you drink the water from the fountain? Maybe. Is that just me and my sort of squeamish American side? I don't know. Then it was time to try some traditional Tuscan soups, a hearty tomato and bread soup and a ribollita, which is stewed greens and vegetables and white beans. Ribollita means reboiled, and this is a soup that our tour guide said would have been made on Sunday and reboiled to enjoy throughout the week. It was quite delicious and hearty, I will say. On the way out, he showed us a plaque that was commemorating the Great Flood of the Arno River in 1966. The little blue squiggly line is where the water rose up to. Could you imagine? He also wanted to point out the cute little kitchen that hasn't been updated in generations. He says they just keep cooking on these old antique stoves, which adds to the charm. I don't know if I can eat much more. 2 stops left. Then we had a joke about there are no dryers in Italy, and then our tour guide was giving us a little tip on how to dry the laundry.
Crease it.
Yeah, that's good. I don't.
So you never know what you'll learn from a local on a tour. Another thing Florence is famous for are their sandwich shops, and this one has a little seating area. They're usually very tiny, sometimes even just a window out at the street. But this one had a little back area that they were gonna let us sit in and try some of their sandwiches. I really didn't know how I was possibly going to eat one more thing at this point. If you come and do this tour, don't even eat breakfast. There's no need. These Italian street sandwiches are served on a bread that's similar to focaccia, but it's crunchier and a little bit not as heavy. It's called schiacciata, and it is the perfect bread for a crunchy, delicious sandwich. There was a salami sandwich and a prosciutto sandwich, and I only had room for one. So I went with the salami pecorino fig jam sandwich, which was really delicious. Yeah, I would never have thought to add the fig jam, but it's so good.
A food tour would not be complete in Florence without a little gelato. Let's see if I've got the room for it.
All the gelato here is made right on the premises, and it was so hard to choose a flavor. One thing that we learned from our tour guide, which I thought was kind of funny, is if you see gelato like this, that's pretty basic, you don't have a ton of mounds and all decorations all over it, then it's more authentic. He said the more decoration they put on top of it, the more they're trying to hide the flavor. I had to try the chocolate hazelnut and of course my favorite pistachio. This is so good. Come to Florence, I highly recommend this tour. I will leave you a link below. Loved it, super fun and super filling. I don't even need dinner tonight. This will just do me fine. Join me next week in the Italian countryside where we'll head to a Tuscan farmhouse and learn how to make 2 different types of pasta. I'll see you then.